the favorites are those who have a better chance to win the World Cup. That's the theme today. That's the subject matter today. That's the topic of this discussion. Right. There is a lot about Qatar on Western media, and instead of talking about the football, the injuries, those who have a better chance to win the tournament, as you see with every World Cup, you have realized that the agenda has changed slightly. The agenda has changed. We are instead facing a narrative about human rights. We are facing a debate about human rights. Human right this, human right that. Listen, people. So there is a debate about human rights in Qatar. Homophobia and human rights in general. Right. People have the right to claim, to fight for a cause that they believe in. People have the right to complain. People have the right to discuss. I heard in a French and an English news media where they treated this particular topic, and the perception is that, are we willing to sacrifice our values for the sake of the World Cup? Number one is, we have to define what is the World Cup. Is this the European Cup? Is this the African Cup? Is this the South American Cup? Is it the North American Cup? Is it the Asian Cup? No, it is the World Cup. Now, I think the way we have to look at this, the approach that we have to take in relation to this particular issue, human right this, human right that, well, every country has its rights. Every country has its culture. Every country has its customs, and we have to respect that. And for the rest of the world, they are going to Qatar to eat Qatari food, right? I might not fancy eating Qatari food. You might not fancy eating Qatari food, but that is the World Cup. Okay? That's the meaning of the World Cup. In Qatar, it is very hot in there. I'm not used to having a hot weather, 24/7. But that's what I'm going to have to put up with when I'm in Qatar. Okay? If in Qatar, people, the majority, 90% are Muslims. And I'm going to get used to people praying everywhere. And I'm going to get used to people not drinking alcohol everywhere. That is part of the Qatari culture. In Qatar, you will not see gay or lesbians kissing and parading their love in public. That is the law. That is the rule. That's the culture. That's their values. So in Qatar, you won't see women doing certain jobs. That's their values. Now, should we go there and tell them, oh, look, this is what is happening. This is what you should do. This is what... Well, we had a World Cup in South Africa. I wonder how much was changed there. The World Cup in South Africa. You know, there's a lot of human right there. There's a lot of inequality. There is a lot X, Y, Z. And that didn't bother people. There are other countries in Africa where people have human rights abuse and stuff. That doesn't bother people. In my country, in Cameroon, there are human rights abuse. Does that bother people? We just had the African Cup of Nations there. Nobody was even mentioned that there was a problem. There's a war there. Nobody even mentioned that there's a problem. Why would there be a problem here? Why will there be a problem here? Well, that is a matter for those who create the problem. I don't believe that there is a particular problem with Qatar. I'll go to the World Cup. It's an experience where people go and discover and experience other people's cultures. It's not something that we have to take to other people. No, we're going there to discover what they have. They know what we stand for. They know what we have. They know what we like. But we're going there to discover and try what they are, what they like, what they are all about. We don't go there to impose them, to impose on them our values or your values, what you believe to be your values. In the Western world, you know, the religion is mainly Christian. So Christian nations are going to what? Well, Islamic nation, Arab nation. We have to respect the culture. We have to respect what they stand for. It's not just the culture, it's the law. It's the law there. Now, if you're telling me that the Western media, the Western world is trying to use the World Cup to influence, to change, and to impose change to other nations and stuff, well, that's a debate that we should have, whether that's okay or not. As you can see, a lot of the captains of the teams have come out and say, well, it is what it is. We're in Qatar. Those are the rules here. We ought to respect them. We have to obey by those rules, and we cannot do otherwise. That is a strong statement. And that's the position that the footballers there should have. Nobody's stopping you from being gay or lesbian or whatever. However, in this land where we are playing this World Cup, and those who the country, you come to the Western world, I'd love to be a polygamist. But can I bring my 5 wives here? No. In the Western world. I live in England, Manchester, England. Can I bring my 10 wives here? No. Hell no. Well, and I respect that. Why is it that people from England will not respect what other people have as rules and customs, as law? Well, that is hypocrisy. That is a dictatorship, trying to go to others and impose to them how. It's like somebody coming to your house and telling you, oh, well, your kid sleeps on the floor. That is unacceptable. And that's child abuse. Well, that's your problem. Those are the values in your country. In my country, that's perfectly normal. Right? It's like somebody coming to your bedroom and saying to you, why are you sleeping naked? That's my culture. In Africa, Husband and wife, they sleep naked anyway, right? Well, when they start getting westernized, they'll be sleeping with their clothes on, or they call it night clothes, or there's no such a thing. In a marriage, in a marital bed, the two partners will sleep naked. That is the golden rules. Now you go to places, you have to respect it, but you can't go to places and criticize people's custom, criticize people's habit, criticize people's way of life. That is wrong, and it's got to be condemned. That's what I got to say. You tell me what you're thinking in the comment section below. And